Hello, all you hardcores out there. How you doing? It's Russell from Poker's Corner, biggest gob in sport. For Max to join us, Art of a P, formerly known as Art of a Breadcrumb. Hello, Max. How are you?
How you doing?
We on with?
Um, Not much. Broke up for the Christmas holidays. Up in Scarborough now. So yeah.
How long you
Um,
been for, Max?
Feels 2nd of January and I go back to work.
Oh,
So
you'll be sniffling about in your Volvo then, won't you?
yeah,
Making making a nuisance of yourself.
I've got to be good. Because I was on holiday in the Dominican Republic, weren't I? Well, I wasn't on
Oh,
holiday, it's
oh
working
God,
holiday.
oh God. This is not the adventures of Tintin, is it, Max? Come on, what's been going on? Come and tell your Uncle Porky.
So like I got asked to coach the rugby league team, Dominican Republic. So the national team. So I went out there for 11 days. No, sorry, 16 days and preparing a game against Canada, which was quite good. Lost 48-18, but it's quite hard to translate from English to Spanish all the time. So that was quite hard work, but that was an experience, all paid for. So yeah.
Max, listen, you're like Superman. If it's not boxing, it's rugby, it's gym ownership. You're like that bloke in it, the Thomas Crown affair, Steve McQueen. You're like him, aren't you?
Thomas
You're like
Crown Fair.
action man, aren't you? Businessman. Go on, Max.
Uh, yeah.
You're so modest, Max, aren't you? Hey, so modest.
Wow. Yeah. So yeah. So got 2 weeks off. So yeah. So try not to weighing a bit lighter now. So try not to put on any weight because I got tugged the other day for it.
It's come back on, Max.
We'll see. We'll see. I'm just being under the radar with it all. If I'm honest.
You're staying under the radar, Max. I didn't even know
Yeah.
you were on radar before.
Oh
Max,
well.
Max is
Well,
in radars.
you know how it is. So yeah.
I don't know what is Max. What talking shit. You're talking like you're Larry Holmes.
Wow. Would love to be at Larry Holmes. Amazing, isn't he? He's amazing.
Max, what are you coming back from?
From adversity. No, I don't know. Just
Max, you're
we'll
one
see.
and one. You're 1-1 in pro ranks. What are you coming back from?
uh, we'll see. We'll see what happens, Ross. We'll see what happens.
Are you going to be with Dennis if you come back?
We'll see what that. Yeah, most likely, more than likely. And we'll just see what happens. I'm not gonna, put any pressure on myself because it's a bit different. When you've got, and I mean, I remember you speaking to Clinton Woods about it. Yeah, because didn't he have a job as a plasterer in his early days, or like builder or something. That he was training morning and night.
Yeah, do a run in the morning, then go plaster all day, then go train at
Yeah,
night.
yeah. So like having this job, it's different. Like then like you can't just think, oh, I can't be asked. Just got to go. After 4 days working with bloody 16 to 19 year olds, exhausted you mentally. You just think, then you just got to go off training. Whereas when you had the gym, you can just had the luxury of training like whenever you wanted. You know what I'm saying? So now it's a lot different. It has to be in the evening. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, yeah. So it's a bit different now. You can't pick. You've just got 2 slots and that's it. Take it or leave it.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Beans being back on the screen. Beans return. What do you think?
um look, I mean, we've seen what's happened with him or what supposedly has happened. Well, we know your views on it, Russ.
I don't believe Hope though. Me, do I'm a doubting Thomas.
Unless it's there in black and white and you can see it, you don't believe a word anyone says, and it's the right way to be. You don't trust any of them. But we've got to assume he's had problems in the background, whether it's cancer or whatever. And you know what? Yeah, we do slag him off on this channel.
Do we need
think
Bean
he's
back in boxing though, or will he revert back to just being a company man Bean?
Yeah, it'd be like what Johnny Nelson did. You know, he's going to do what he does.
I am Team Johnny. I'm Team Johnny at the moment. Team Johnny.
Yeah, but then, then wherever he goes or wherever he's working for, he goes what suits narrative of that company, doesn't he? So whatever suits.
I'm Team Flex as well at the moment. I were listening to a Flex interview yesterday on this channel. When I thought Flex were talking sense, and I'm buying into the Flex sense. Well, I don't know what's happened. Maybe a mellow win.
You mellow? Don't think so. It's just maybe they're coming round a little bit onto your wavelength or nearer. I think Bean, you know what? We slag him off, but he is entertaining in his own way. And no matter what he does, I did think he promoted okay. He did all right. There's worse than him out there. Don't you think?
Well, listen, they all shit in the same pot. So,
I mean, personally, I think he's. You know what? I think I've sort of missed him in a way, because although he wasn't great, he was someone just to poke fun at, wasn't he? You know,
what about that story about Bean when he were going on about what he got for Christmas, and he couldn't wait to go to school, and he were going round playground with his dictaphone going, "Down goes Fraser, down goes Fraser," you know, pretending to be like a commentator, and he was telling Larry Holmes that story, and I was like, "Oh no, man, you're showing us up, Bean, no, Bean, don't do it." And he was proud as punch, bless him, with his dick. Can you imagine him at school with one of them? He's going back after Christmas break.
Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that in a school round Donny, him doing that? What would happen to him?
In my class. So come here, you Bean. Unbelievable, mate. Boxer size Ben and Big Meech. How do you see it going, Maxi?
What is the relationship between them two?
Well, obviously, yeah, they're not going to fight each other, are they, Max? And I don't think they're getting.
Well, no, but no, I don't know if it's the fight with.
No, I've never seen.
What then you getting
a woman?
What are we doing? Sarcastic Rust today, are we? You know what I mean?
Oh, Max. Well, obviously, their relationship as boxer trainer.
Look, it clearly wasn't working for him going across the pond with Derek James, or the box size Ben. He's convenient. Have you noticed though with boxer size Ben? It seems that any superstars he grasps, like is that Tyson Fury, is that Billy Joe Saunders? Can you imagine? It's almost like a football manager. Let's say Mark Hughes when he first went to Man City, or the billionaires came in and bought Robinho and all the great players. The players start running the team. Does that make sense? And that's what you're going to start finding. You know, AJ will want to do what he wants to do. Can you tell it? Can you honestly think Ben say, right, Anthony, you're going to be here at this time on the dot, tell him what to do? You think that's going to happen?
No, I don't, Max.
Well, exactly. So you find there'll be like, a certain rhythm they get into, or like you know, a middle road ground. But it's not going to be strict, is it? AJ will do what he wants to do, and unfortunately, and this has happened throughout a lot of his career. He's surrounded by yes men, and the only person that doesn't seem to be a yes man or knew him from the start was Rob McCracken. You know, and it's you know, he expected the standard Rob McCracken. We say what he's, you know, he's a basic trainer. People maybe slate him a little bit, but he knew Joshua from the start. He got the best out of Joshua, I thought, and I still think he can get the best out. I think you should return back to your roots, and that's with Rob McCracken. So, Box Size Ben, unfortunately, he's a little bit too young still. Was he 27, 28? Even younger than that. Quote me if I'm wrong. You hardcores out there. Yeah, exactly. And you Porky subscribers who like to slate me, quote me if I'm wrong on that. I'm sure a lot of you come out of the woodwork like you always do. But the fact of the matter is that he's got no authority. And unfortunately, Anthony Joshua needs authority a little bit on him. But unfortunately, this is what we're seeing. We're seeing someone with too much money overriding a trainer. Although I think he will get the job done against Otto Wallin. I think he beats him. I think he knocks him out, to be honest. People will think, oh, Otto Wallin's a bit, you know, he's too soft, or he's he's that awkward southpaw, or you know, he gave Fury a hard night's work. But I think he'll force Joshua into making a move, and it will bring the best out of Joshua in this fight. And we might see a bit of old style Meech come back in this one, I think. You know, so yeah.
What about Crusher and Eubank Jr.? It's off, Max. What's your take on that?
Well, I don't know why they're even making fights. He needs to prove he's not guilty or whatever it is. You know, we're getting away with a narrative here. You know, all this like, oh, fights, you know, him making fights, calling people out. Let's see this 270-page dossier, if it even existed. That's for one. You know, if I was the board, you know what I do? If I was the board, I'd say, right, okay, I'll tell you what, Crusher Ben. I'll say, what we do, Connor, is we'll get you on Zoom every day for 30 days. And if we think it's eggs, you've got to eat that amount of eggs, 60 eggs in front of us, you know, to prove that it's what it is. But I don't think it is. So, to be honest with you, you know, he needs to prove his innocence and get that out of the way. You know, he needs to prove and get his license sorted and start doing the normal things and follow process, like Robert Smith says. You know, I'm not a fan of the board, like, you know, you are. You know, you're not a fan. You know, Julian said his spats with him, but they're standing firm over this, and rightly so, because, you know, where would boxing be if they didn't? You know, where would it be? It'd be properly in the gutter if they weren't standing firm. You know, you're gonna see there's gonna be a soft ban or some sort of ban is gonna happen. But he will have another 6 months left at best and say, oh yeah, you've served the silent ban, and off they go. But he needs to start facing up to the board and start going through process. And it's disappointing me with Simon Jordan as well. Going back on, oh, you know, saying, oh, Conor Benn needs to do this and being his best friend all of a sudden. He's such a turncoat, him. Really annoys me, that.
You're not happy with Simon Jordan, Max? Well,
to be honest, excuse my language, I think he's a bit of a prick now. So, you know, an idiot, because he was all good for boxing. He's going to do this, do that. You know, I'm going to do this. You know, Eddie schools him. Yeah, and unfortunately, you just don't turn around and say, change your mind based on what? On the strength of what? What? Because you like the lad. I'm sorry, he's a cheater. He's a cheat. He's no much more of a cheat than Jarrell Miller. But fortunately for Jarrell Miller, he said, yeah, been caught and served the ban. That's the difference. And the people slag off Jarrell Miller, and I know Julian has done, a few people, but he served the ban. He served his ban. He's done his time. He's boxing again. Conor Benn needs to do the same thing.
Well,
That's what needs to happen.
Julian mentions Errol Miller.
Yeah, he can't stand Miller, can he? He's just loudmouth. You know what? I don't mind him. I think he's quite funny, actually, Gerard Miller. I think he's the character. I think he'll end up beating Dubois, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what I think of his Dubois?
Well,
Dubois, the thing is with Dubois, and I hope this is, I want to back the Brit. Let's get that right. I want the Brit to win. But what we found of Usyk, he should have jumped on him, right? Should have jumped on him, and people saying, "Oh, well, you know, Max, he's in with the best person in the world." Okay, yeah, okay, well, I'll give you that. And he turned it to, 100% intensity, and Daniel Dubois couldn't live with it. Okay, I'll give you that. We saw the one against Joe Joyce. Okay, we say quit, or you say he's quit. He couldn't live with it. And I think that was a genuine injury to his eye socket. That was a genuine one. Out of all of them, the Billy Joe, say about Sonny Edwards, Daniel Dubois is a genuine one, I think. But if you pay your attention to the South African fighter cruiserweight, that Kevin Lemmer, or what his name is, he hurt his ankle in that first round, and he looked like he was buckling and he was going to lose that. I don't know if that South African had a personality transplant or what, just laid right off him in the second round, and Daniel Dubois beat him. I don't know what, something was said in that corner, that South African's corner. That South African would have beaten him. So he's had a few gifts, Daniel Dubois, and what I'm trying to say is, and dissect this down, is when he gets overwhelmed, he runs out of ideas. So he's like a little bit better, like a better version of Nathan Gorman. And that's what we're going to find in this fight. I think Gerard Miller will come forward and keep coming forward all night. And it just overwhelm him and keep on his chest and just rough him up. And I think he'll just do that all night until he folds. And I don't want that to happen, but I think that's going to happen. So we'll see. We'll see on that one.
Max, the question was, Conor Benn, is he being frozen out?
Yeah, I know. I was going on there.
4-minute dialogue here, chatting us to shit.
Yeah. So basically, what I'm trying to say is, Conor Benn needs to follow process, doesn't he? That's what needs to happen, and stop piss-assing about, calling people out. Follow process, and see if you're innocent or not. Let's see this dossier. Stop it. You're embarrassing yourself. You're not your dad.
Yeah. Did Sonny quit? Max, don't tell me you've lost your arsehole.
No, but you know what? I like Sonny Edwards, and
Max, just answer the question. You sound like Boris Johnson, mate. Just answer the question. Did he quit in your eyes? Yes or no?
Yeah, but
Max, we were like squeezing a fart out that, mate.
I know it was.
Yeah.
Do you know what?
About?
Yeah, but can I just say this one?
No, you can't.
I mean, all right. Flipping hell, you haven't.
Max. Go on then, Max. Go on, I'll let you have the floor. Go on.
God, you know what I mean? You're wronging. No, I mean, to be honest, with Sonny, I think it's what you've said previously. He hasn't been in a firefight. I mean, when he fought Marcel Braithwaite, I think he had trouble in that fight in some ways, but he hasn't been in a proper firefight. And I'd like to see Sonny Edwards have another crack at him, if I'm honest. And I can buy into a rematch. And I'd like to see a rematch because it was a cracking fight. He will learn from that. I think he will learn more from that fight than he has done in his previous 10 defenses, or whatever you want to call it. And it will make him overnight or within this week, come it this weeks and years or whatever, straight away a better fighter. Because now, look, knowledge is power in this game, and you know what to do. He will look at the footage, because I think he really does study the game, Sonny. He does take it serious. I mean, 3 years as a champion. I mean, people struggle to get past the 3-year mark, don't they? How many people in history has gone past the 3-year mark? How many can you name?
Clinton Woods.
Yeah.
Nigel Benn. Chris Eubank. Calzaghe. There's not many, is there?
Yeah, but now you put, yeah, exactly. So what I'm trying to say is you're putting Sonny's name amongst that lot. You know what I mean? So yeah, okay. People argue on here that it's not a crowded division yet, but you can only fight who's in front of you. I like to see the rematch, and I think I wouldn't say I favour Sonny, but I think it'd be a lot better in the rematch because you know what to do. He'll study it.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay. We say he quit. He had a hard time of it, but I think he'll come back better, and I hope he does, because you know what? Yeah, we can say he's a gobshite. We can say he is to that, but he's entitled to be, because you know what? He's done well for what he's done, and I just think he's got humbled, and Bam Rodriguez, it was quality, but I'd love to see it again, because that show was, what would you give that whole show out of 10?
8.
It's one of the better shows that Eddie's put on, isn't he?
Yeah.
So I'd see that again. I'll pay good money for that.
Yeah, that guy got lucky, didn't he, against McGrail, didn't he?
Yeah. So I mean, it's so I mean, a lot of those fights were really good. So I'd like to see that. I quite happily would watch that, pay money to that. You'd even subscribe to that. But they're one in a blue moon, those sort of cards, aren't they?
Do you think that Conor Benn's backs into a corner now, and if he wants any big money, he's got to really have a proper fight against somebody who's really good? In a fight where he's probably going to be underdog, because he's not going to want to fight for chump change now, is he? Now that the Eubank door's closed, is he? And you think if he don't get that money, he might be off ski?
Well, this is one way. So if he's off ski, my question is, he ain't going to sell a ticket in, Miami, Florida, Tennessee, Philadelphia, is he? So that's the miles out of the question. So it's is it within his interest to stay over here? So that's the first thing. You can sense there is a relationship strain between them, but don't you think though, Conor Benn and Eddie Hearn, they're quite similar characteristics in so many ways. Both. So Nigel, obviously, Conor's born from Nigel. Eddie's born from Barry. They've both got similar sort of traits. Silver spoon in their mouth. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So there's going to be clashes between them.
Used to get in their own way, do you think?
Yeah, and there's going to be clashes there. So what I'm trying to say is that he's going to have a fight against a Josh Kelly or someone domestic. He's going to have to come down domestically, because unfortunately, a Keith Thurman dug up or anyone like that is not going to motivate anyone. Josh Kelly on a Newcastle show where he'll have to go as a away fighter might be his way forward. Or maybe if Liam Smith can't get the trilogy against Chris Eubank, a fight in Liverpool, Smith v. Conor Benn. Get beyond that.
Yeah, well, only gimmick fights I see for him are Beefy Smith, Amir Khan, and Kell Brook. They're the only gimmick fights where he'd be a favourite. He'd get good money for them, and he'd be a big favourite. Other than that, if he wants good money, he's gonna have to take some of them Yanks on, isn't
Well, Amir Khan won't be a fight because he'll be serving a ban and
he?
he'll
Yeah, but his
struggle to get
band's
his level.
nearly up in it now, Amir Khan's.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, whether he gets licensed or not, that's a different story as well. So that's one because he still has to apply.
All right then. Well, if
Um,
it's not Amir Khan, Kell Brook, or Beefy Smith, right? If it ain't Eubank, and if it ain't them, it'd have to be somebody like Josh Taylor, wouldn't it? Or Devin Haney, if he wanted to get any money.
could you get behind Devin Haney v Conor Benn though?
Yeah, I could. Yeah, I could get behind that. I could get behind that. Yeah, be in a test, wouldn't he? Against somebody that's never fought at welterweight. So he still have some at his own way, wouldn't he? Going against a smaller man. When he's looking at fighting middleweights, he's winning against a smaller man, asking him
So,
to step up.
so this is where I get a little bit, not confused, like as in a little bit suspicious. Well, you're talking about £20 jump, was it £20 jump? So from welterweight to what, middle, super middle, right? Talking that as a big jump. So what are you juicing to go all those jumps? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So okay then, Conor Benn, and this puts me back to what Terry said with you on his, when he was on with you. It was take Conor Benn, like someone to beat Conor Benn, a vicious fighter. Well, I don't necessarily agree with that, Terry, because let's be honest here. Since he's not juicing, or supposed not juicing, he doesn't hit the pads. His last three opponents before that journeyman in Miami, Orlando, was Van Eerden, Vargas, Algieri. Knocked them all sparked out. Okay. Now those three are a better level than that journeyman that he fought out in Orlando. That's a fact. Couldn't get rid of in any shape or form that journeyman. That's a fact. Okay. So what am I telling you? What am I saying is he's not punching nowhere near as hard. So so it's not going to take a special fighter really to get rid of him. English level, maybe. So if you're looking to go super middleweight, and bear in mind, there's some big super. Let's look at the English title holder who was. This is Zach Chelly. I think Zach Chelly would destroy him.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zach Chelly would destroy him. If you look, I mean, Christ, are we talking about what? And Mark Efron, a middleweight, was he super middle?
Mark Efron's super middle. He was a super middle.
Put him down to middle. Let him fight Conor Benn. See how that goes down well. I think Efron would absolutely spank him all over the ring.
Conor Benn only wanted to do it because it were Eubank and it were a money fight. And if he lost, he could say he's a smaller man. So he were on a win-win. He were on a win-win. But now he's not in them situations. Now he's on the back foot. He's going to be the B side, isn't he? He's got.
I think he's better.
B side ability. If he starts chasing them big names, he'll get took out.
Do you know what I think he's better off doing? I think he's better off doing fighting like Josh Kelly, someone like Josh Kelly, and a Newcastle card. He sells tickets, Josh Kelly. It would feel I could get behind that Kelly v Benn in a Newcastle bill.
Would you put it past him digging Kell Brook up?
No, I wouldn't actually, and I don't want to see Kell Brook dug up, and I don't want to see him fighting again because
the babby, chocolate brownies, babby, Eddie, chocolate brownie here for Connor.
Because it's just like a gift, isn't it? Although Conor Benn we don't rate highly or as highly. Kell Brook, he was legend at one point, wasn't he?
Time and beat, babby. Time and beat.
I'm eating steak.
Eddie. Greg Marriott's got me on super shakes. I'm eating steak in the morning now with cauliflower.
But this is the thing, you know. His eye sockets are bashed up. He's had his time. You know, I don't want to see a gift for Conor Benn. As a gift, same as Amir Khan if he comes back, a gift. Let's see someone with a heartbeat. David Avanesian, but unfortunately, as much as I'd love to see that and pay good money to see that, not the casuals would watch that. Avanesian would
He's
batter him
deserving of
inside
that
3
fight,
rounds.
David Evanesian.
Say again, sorry.
He's deserving of that Conor Benn fight.
Yeah. And Conor Benn would sell. He would still sell to the casual fans, and he could be the A side for that for Avanesian. But Avanesian would deal with him within inside 3 rounds.
Yeah.
You know, so. But yeah, we'll see.
Okie dokie then. Well, listen, Max, the Gad, does he live in a dungeon or a cave?
God, he's just weird, isn't he? I mean, he must be on a register.
You can't say that on here, Max.
Well, I can.
You can't say that, Max.
I'm
But
sorry, but
hey,
I'm
Davis,
sorry,
you
but
lovely fella, Max.
I'm sorry, but okay then. Let's put it this way. Then let's ask you this question: if you saw your daughter say, "Right, I've got a new boyfriend," right? He's just come on this motorcycle. Watch his dad, right? Comes in, it's him carrying off in his motorbike outside your gaff. What would you be doing?
I grab hold of his hair and I put him in an headlock and I pluck it like a chicken out of his head.
There we go, right? And how he is creepy around women, he needs
He's
to be
probably
looked
got
at.
one of them motorbikes, with a side thing, for like George and Mildred's. He's probably got one of them, the gas.
Well, whatever. But the point I'm trying to make is, and he can say this or that to me. Well, like if my daughter comes through the door and says, "Oh, this is my new boyfriend," well, I need you, darling, to go down the cop shop and do a Claire's Law on him because I'm not comfortable. I would not be comfortable for anyone close to me be hanging around with him. He is a wrong'un. Sorry. If he doesn't like it,
All right.
email you and then get in contact with me because I'll tell it to his face. He's a wrong'un.
All right then, Max. Well, heavy words there from Max. Right. And on that note, right, catch you again, Max. See you, mate.
You take care, mate. Bye bye bye.
Well, that were Max with his strong views on the Gad. We love the Gad, really. The Gad is all right. It's only Bants, isn't it? The Gad. But strong views from Max, saying the Gad's are wrong and strong views. But hey ho, it's been a late one. Pop, bang. Thanks for liking and subscribing and leaving a comment. Don't have nightmares. Peace out.